Hello everyone, happy Mother's Day. I'm Jackie Stewart and I'm really delighted to be leading us through a meditation. So today's meditation, of course, is intended to support mothers, but it's also intended to support anyone who might see themselves in a caregiving position. And what I mean by caregiving is really caring for any other human being in any capacity. So that might mean caring for our own children. Maybe it means caring for children that are not our own. Or maybe we are caring for our parents in some way, or a partner, or our siblings, our friends, maybe an entire community. So this is really intended for anyone who might identify as someone who cares for others. And in today's practice, what I'd like for us to do is draw on our own wisdom, our own strength, our own capacity for kindness, warmth, tenderness, compassion. And as we work through this, it's really sort of calling on what we might even think about as the archetype of a mother. So whether or not our own mother is sort of embodied these qualities, that here we can sort of create that for ourselves by thinking about a being, any being who we feel embodies these qualities. So this might be our mother or a grandparent or maybe even a public figure, someone like Mother Teresa. If such a person doesn't come to mind for us, this is really the opportunity for us to work with an archetype where we just sort of imagine all of these qualities coming together and being able to come through the embodiment of a being and kind of working with that as inspiration. And we work with that as inspiration, not necessarily as something outside of ourselves, but as something that we already have, something that is already within us, that sometimes we just forget that it's here because we can get caught up in the busyness of our own lives or pressures can start to build up, right? So it's just about remembering that all of these qualities are within me. But sometimes it just takes a reminder to kind of draw them out or to practice them, to become more fluid at expressing them or seeing the world in this way. So I'd like for us to do this practice. So please join me in a comfortable seat wherever you're finding yourself in this moment. So maybe you're on a cushion or in a chair. Maybe you're on a couch. Getting nice and settled here. Feeling your body beginning to really land in this spot. Letting your hands rest on your legs or in your lap. Closing your eyes, or if you'd rather practice with your eyes open, finding a lowered gaze. Softening the focus. And we'll start by deepening the breath. Taking long, deep breaths into the body. And then releasing them back out. We'll take a few breaths like this. Perhaps we're able to feel ourselves slowing down a bit as we connect with the body and the breath. Gently letting these deeper breaths go and finding a rhythm that feels more natural, more like your normal way of breathing, so we're not needing to do anything extra in this time here. And then we'll tune into the body as we allow ourselves to settle and get grounded. So feeling your sit bones pressing down beneath you. Feeling this connection between your body and the seat that you're on. And for a moment, seeing if you can just feel held by this seat. And so often we might feel like we're holding and caring for others, that we might let our bodies relax, give our body weight over to the support of the seat beneath me and just feel like I could be held here for a moment. And then from this groundedness, feeling as though we could lift tall through the spine, feeling the head reaching up toward the sky. So there's this beautiful balance in the way that we're able to sit, being grounded while also feeling the sense of wakefulness, upliftedness in the body. And then we'll take some time to just feel into what is happening in the body right now. Can I notice parts of the body that are already relaxed? I already feel a sense of spaciousness. Can I notice areas in the body that might feel tense or tight? So in a way, just paying attention to ourselves in this way is such an act of care. Like we are worthy of being paid attention to. And just noticing where we're relaxed and where we're tight in the body. It's so simple. And so in the areas where we notice there's tightness or tension, we might respond with some act of compassion. So maybe we offer ourselves a deep breath into that part of the body. And maybe as we do that, we feel the shoulders release a bit. Or some part of the chest soften. And that we just respond to ourselves with a kind of tenderness, a kind of care, where we're able to offer relief wherever it might be needed. So let's take some time to just work with the body in this way, noticing where we can just offer ourselves an extra breath or an ability to let go of some grip, something we might be holding on to that we no longer need, something we can let go of. And so maybe you're working your way around your body, going from the shoulders down into the belly, around your back, feeling through your arms, your hands, coming down into the legs. Feeling your feet. Feeling through the muscles in your face. And taking a moment to just notice the feeling of your whole body sitting in this spot. Maybe even noticing what it feels like to breathe as you just rest here. And what does this breath feel like? Do I feel it as movement in the belly, as a rising and falling? Or is it something I feel in the chest? Or in the nose, as air coming and going? Gonna take some time to just rest with the breath. And then I might even see it as an act of care, that each breath is filled with this possibility of being able to soothe the body, of being able to nurture myself, has the capacity to calm the nervous system, settle the mind. So can I take these breaths in a way where I'm acknowledging this active care, this way of loving myself with each breath? And if you find at any point that the mind becomes distracted or starts to wander, that's okay. This is also a beautiful opportunity to practice compassion, that we understand that this is normal and happens all the time. And then we just gently guide our attention back to this feeling of the breath and seeing each breath as this act of kindness, as a way to nurture ourselves. And from here, I'd like to invite you to call upon the most compassionate, loving, understanding, gracious being you can think of. So this might be someone we have a personal relationship with. Maybe it's a parent or a grandparent, a mentor, a teacher. Maybe this is someone that we don't have a personal relationship. Maybe it's someone like a public figure, like Mother Teresa, or a spiritual figure like Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. So whoever it is that we are working with, that we invite this being to come and sit right in front of us. And we take a moment to just feel what it's like to be in the presence of this being. What it feels like to be in the presence of all their warmth, their love, and their grace. And then we might even imagine what their face looks like in this moment. There's a tenderness in their eyes, a softness in the way they gaze upon you, with complete acceptance, total affection. It's pure love. And a sweet smile that rests on their lips as they look at you. And see if you can open yourself up to being able to receive this kind of love. This kind of acknowledgement. And feel as though the love from this being could just radiate from them and be poured into you. And that you could absorb it through your pores, down into your tissues, the tissue of your body. Something you could feel deep down in your bones. Something that impacts you on a cellular level. Noticing what this feels like. To be so deeply seen. So deeply accepted. And so deeply loved. And then from here, imagining that this being could stand up and come and sit right where you are, so your bodies merge, so that there is no separation between you and this being. That we could really feel into what it would be like to embody these qualities, to just sit in them. Noticing what it feels like physically. What it feels like in the heart. And then perhaps imagining what it would be like to look out through the eyes of this being. How might we see the world differently? How might we connect with and see the people around us differently? That we might even take some time to scan through people we know. And practice seeing them through these eyes, these loving, accepting, understanding eyes. And that beyond the people immediately around us, that we can engage this way with everyone we come into contact with. And then from here, imagining that this being could dissolve and melt into your heart. And that there really is no separation between the two of you, as it was your own mind that called up, that drew upon the inspiration of this person. So it came from within you. And that these qualities are already there. That sometimes it just takes a little spark to draw them back out in us. And so we might just take a few moments here to rest in our own body, maybe appreciating these very qualities that are already here. And just take some time to breathe. And when you feel ready, you can gently start to blink your eyes open or lift your gaze. Take a moment to check in with yourself. Notice how you feel. Maybe even take a moment to reflect back on what that practice was like for you. And when we reflect back, it's not in a way of kind of judging whether or not the practice went a certain way, but that we're really extending and practicing this way of being able to kind of acknowledge an experience from a place of understanding, knowing that however it went for us is sort of perfect for wherever we are on our path. And that we can continue to work with these qualities, continue to draw upon them, continue to draw them out. And by doing that, we'll learn more and more over time to trust those qualities, that they're there, and that they become more available to sort of generously offer in the way that we interact with others. So thank you all so much for taking some time to practice today, to really kind of nurture yourself, which is such an incredible thing to do anytime, but maybe especially on a day like today. And then to remember that as much as you've taken the time to nurture yourself, by natural extension of that, the people around you will also sort of reap the benefits of this practice. So maybe just taking a little piece of that with you as you continue with the rest of your day, that you can really kind of rely on that confidence, that you practiced, that these qualities are within you, and that there's something that can be very kind of openly and generously offered to everyone around you. So have a wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to connecting with you again at some point soon. Thank you.